what it's about. That shade. You got clout, let me hear what it's about. That shade. Without a doubt, this that season of a cloud. That shade.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Thaddeus Shade, and this is the Odd Nerd Podcast. Can I get a round of applause, please? Let's go. It's important to get some claps. Before I get into what I want to really get into, goes like this, mates. I didn't know that dropping, I did know, but I didn't know. Dropping your opinion on social media. I didn't know that you guys were going to come so gangster, right? So I dropped a couple of videos talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day, and you guys really let me know how you were feeling. Now, the first video I dropped was about me talking about how Marvel drops a lot of trailers. They drop a lot of clips. They do a bunch of like behind the scene clips, all these things. And I was like, man, I just talked about how it'd be really cool to go in to see the Punisher and Spider-Man fight Hulk blind. And you guys really got into the comments. Now, I don't mind. I genuinely don't mind folks who really know what they're talking about, or they got a solid opinion, or their opinion is pretty strong. I don't mind none of that shiznit. I don't mind none of it. But the ones who support Jeffrey Dahmer, who be in the basement wearing Jeffrey Dahmer t-shirts, who are just genuinely mean. Have you ever been called mean by a little young toddler kid, 4 years? You're mean. It just hurts. So I'm just saying you guys are mean. Now, yes. If I, you know what? I'm not even going to say that because, again, I'm learning all of this and what I can and what I can't say. But I understand you guys are very passionate about Marvel, just like myself. Just like my motherfucking self. I'm very passionate about Marvel. I love all this shit. But I didn't know that y'all be in the basement making bombs and shit, and then also commenting on people's stuff with some wild shit and some really disrespectful shit. I didn't know y'all just come on there and be like, hey, fuck your mother. Hey, fuck your mother. You cock-sucking son of a fuck you. I didn't know that. I didn't know that y'all just randomly get on somebody's post and just be like, you're part of the fucking problem, you fucking immigrant. I don't know. I'm not going to say that either. This is Thaddeus Shade. This is the Odd Nerd Podcast. Let's go, baby. But I didn't know that. And I shared the first video. It was just a thought, just my own opinion about Marvel dropping too much. And people, well, they made $1 billion. Yeah, they were going to make $1 billion. They're going to make $1 billion, period. We were hungry for Spider-Man. They needed a home run. They were going to make $1 billion. We were going to spend the money anyway. We had the money ready. We were going to spend the money anyway. I don't think they needed to show that much activity for us not to be lined up to go see Pete Parker, Tom Holland, Zendaya, and the new storyline they had for us. They obviously knew what they were doing. They were making, Marvel's a marketing machine. Sony, not so much. Marvel's a marketing machine. Sony's kind of like, hey, and I'm sure Sony's a part of it. Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. So they're like, hey, we got to make a lot of money. And then Marvel's like, hey, we give you most of the money and we got to make some money too. But nobody's looking at Sony saying, you guys really know how to market. Especially when we're talking about movies and we're talking about comic book movies. My God, you seen what Sony's done to us? So when we're talking about marketing, we're talking about genius marketing. We're talking about Marvel. Trust me, I believe it was absolutely Marvel that was dropping all the clips because they got to make some bread too. But I just think it was too much. They didn't need it. And so then we did that, and then you guys really showed up in the comments, and I was surprised because I'm getting into it, and I've been doing podcasts, but I didn't know, I ain't been dropping clips like that. I've never been a part of the clip game like that, and when it hit, they were in the comments. Just psychopathing it up, just harsh, and I get, so celebrities, tip my hat to you. If you were a homeless celebrity, you was a celebrity at first, you became homeless and you had your hat out, I put some coins in that shit because I was like, you handled this shit. At some point, you was getting blasted by these son of bitches and you handled that shit perfectly. I gotta learn that. Because, my anger in my brain is at a 10, is at a max all the time. So I'm from where I'm from, I'm like, I gotta read this shit and I gotta absorb and I gotta woosah and I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta calm down, because when you read, you're like, damn, I ain't gotta be a bitch. I ain't gotta be a hoe. I ain't gotta shut the fuck up. I'm talking. I love the movie. I love the shit just like how y'all love the shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they just hit me back. Harkins just hit me back. That's pretty cool. I love the movie just like y'all, because we're doing another private screening of Insidious. They just called, and I'm doing the thing with y'all. So right now, it's whatever. But the way y'all are so aggressive in the comments, the way y'all comment on people's stuff, you would think that y'all are definitely on the FBI watch list, because I really do believe you got like a Jeffrey Dahmer bandana, a Ted Bundy tattoo on your forearm, and you're just fucking with bombs and you're commenting wild shit on people's stuff. Now, I do believe, and I've talked about this in past episodes, a lot of the stuff that's being put on and in these comments come from and manufactured from the platform itself. They got to keep it interesting, right? They got to keep it negative. They got to keep it positive. They got to keep it going so everybody can get in the comments and everything can stay active. I absolutely believe that. But my God, you could tell there are some people who have made some fake pages who have like 7 followers and follow 5,000 people, and their whole job and their whole life outside of stealing from Walmart that they work at is just to get in the comments and then just go to work with blasphemous shit. And I love people who have real comments. Those are the ones who got real comments, the ones who really got something to say. He's like, hey, Jimmy, I like you, man. Thank you for letting me know. And also for the people in the comments telling me they didn't watch any trailers. They didn't know the Punisher was in the movie. They didn't know the Punisher was in the movie. They didn't know the Hulk was in the movie. I call bullshit. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. They had this shit everywhere. Marvel had fucking photos and interviews with John B. You telling me you was able to avoid that? The type of marketing and push that Marvel did, Sony too, the way they did that, it's equal to Noah and the flood. You can't get away from it, man. Unless you were on the boat. And even then, you still saw the flood happening, bro. So it's no way you're going to tell me you did not know that the Punisher, and I didn't watch any trailers. I didn't do it. I'm better than you. I didn't watch any trailers. I didn't even know he was in a movie. But somehow you found your way to my page. You're not on social media, man? And you found your way to comment on my shit? You're not on... Are you fucking kidding me? They marketed... There's the Bible and then how they marketed Spider-Man. The marketing projects, both of them, amazing. Amazing work. You gonna try to tell me you didn't see? Come on, man. You trying to tell me you didn't? Come on, man. You trying to tell me you didn't see that John B was playing the Punisher inside of in the Spider-Man? Come on, Joker. Come on, man. Right? That's Will. Right? Will Smith would. Right? Come on, man. Aggressively mean around here, man. All I want to do, I want to talk movies. I want to talk TV shows. I want to talk sports. I want to do these things. I got to realize that y'all are here to either help or destroy. And it's the same, and it's in real life. You're going to have people in your life that are here to help you, and there's going to be people that are going to be there to destroy you, and not even, they're like, it's just going to happen. It's just what it's about, right? And so I got to get used to that. You know what I'm saying? I can't square up with nobody because y'all all behind the typing board. You know, you typing, you can't square up. You can't say meet me out front because you're typing on the phone and on the keyboard and making bombs and wearing Jeffrey Dahmer headbands and flexing Ted Bundy fucking tattoos, man. I didn't know it was gonna be like that. I was really surprised. So then you do it, and it's kind of the same thing on YouTube, because this was all on Instagram, because I had posted on Instagram and y'all was not fucking around, and I put it on YouTube, and it was the same thing. It was the same thing. I actually had put the clip up where I was talking about, I was comparing the rooftop scene of Spider-Man and with MJ, I had just put a comparison to being in prison, having Jell-O pudding, going back to your cell, reading Lord of the Rings book, and getting stabbed. I had to make that compare. This is my shit. This is what I do. You're gonna have fun watching my shit. You're gonna be entertained watching my shit. I might have no life lessons. I might have no real evidence or know what I purely know what I'm talking about. You're gonna have a great time. No, I'm not saying all the time I'm just gonna give you bullshit. I'm gonna give you some real shit. I'm a real motherfucker. I'm old, nigga. I'm gonna give you some real shit. It is real. I'm gonna give you some real stuff. But there are a lot of times when I'm describing things, I have the ability to get Willy Wonka. I have the ability to get Robin Williams, and my shit will combine together, and you will get a scenario story that you will enjoy. And be like, how the fuck did his brain come up with that? That's me. So I did that. And it was just like, motherfuckers was like, what the fuck? And then people were laughing, but what the fuck? I'm mind-blowing, man. I'm a different human. And I'm going to be talking about the Warriors all season. And I'm getting into basketball talking about the Warriors. And I'm getting into basketball just talking about basketball, period. I am going to enjoy all of this. I know it's going to take people hitting me in the throat in the comments. I know it. I'm learning it. You guys are professional haters. And I love it. I think we're going to find out because I got a lot. Basketball, I'm basketball 101. And I can talk it with the best of them, baby. I'm going to enjoy this shit. Now that I spent 11 minutes talking about how mean you guys were to me in the comments, you're just mean, man. You're just mean. All right. Now, I want to talk about something that I've mentioned to my boy Craig Visions a couple of times. And I think I'm going to be able to knock out this whole episode just on this because this should be a lot of fun. All right, now check this out. 2012 to me was like the mecca of like entertainment, especially on a Sunday. 2012 and 2026 has felt a lot like 2012, but in the theater. And I'm so happy that the theater is cashing. I think they had like $5 billion worth of billion-dollar movies that have dropped from the beginning of the year all the way up until now. And this week, the end of Oak Street, I'm going to go see. And then there's Teenage Sex Marriage. It came out last week. I'm going to go see it this week too, right? And movies have been on absolute fire. And you know how much I've been craving movies since 2020 and all the virus and shit happened. Shit has been like, and then it jump up and then go back down. I am a movie fanatic. And so this year has been an absolute hurricane of heroin going through my body when it comes to the movies. A hurricane of heroin. You guys have really taken all my money. I get rewards from Fandango, so all they like, you got a $5 reward because I'm at the theater all the time. This is like comparison to 2012. So we're going to get into that about how much it feels like 2012 television. Let me go with this, girl. Check this out. These 2011 to 2013, this is what I was into. All right, this is what I was watching on television. Check this out. This for me, this is me for sure. I was watching Breaking Bad. Oh my God. Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Dexter, and True Blood. That's Sunday. That's Sunday alone, man. Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Dexter, True Blood. Are you fucking kidding me, man? And then I would watch Modern Family. Modern Family, I have been around for a long time, and there are a lot of funny television shows, all right? I give Martin is up there, Fresh Prince, Jerry Seinfeld, except Jerry Seinfeld. Everybody around Jerry Seinfeld is hilarious except Jerry Seinfeld. And I know. Hey, this the shit that white people assassinate you for. I know this, man. But listen, everybody around Jerry Seinfeld was hilarious. Jerry Seinfeld himself was not, but he was perfect. That he was the landing spot for everybody to get together and give us the comedy that we needed, right? So he was perfect, and the show is a masterpiece, right? But I was watching American Horror Story, Modern Family, Homeland, those, and then there was like Mad Men. I never got a chance to watch it. Judge me if you want. Sons of Anarchy. I've been shot at multiple times for not watching that show. Boardwalk Empire, Justified, Shameless, Suits, The Good Wife, Spartacus, Fringe, Sherlock, Luther, Big Bang Theory, 30 Rock, Parks and Rec. I mean, and then in 2013, so it's like 2012, 2013. So then 2013, you get House of Cards. I was watching that before I found out what Spacey, I found out what Spacey was doing. I was watching House of Cards. House of Cards was good on Netflix. And then me, I was watching that. You know what I'm saying? This 2012, what is that? 2011 to 2013. And then, House of Cards starts in 2013. You got Orange is the New Black. You got Hannibal. Hannibal was flawless. Hannibal was really good, bro. The last season was a little sketch because I think I don't know if there was another writer strike. I can't really remember. I should have looked it up, but Hannibal was really good. Hannibal was really good, bro. And, you got Banshee, you got Ray Donovan. Ray Donovan was good. I never even finished Ray Donovan. I disrespected Ray Donovan. I got to season 2 of Ray Donovan, and that was, my bad, Ray. My bad, the original Sabretooth. You know what I'm saying? Cotton Weary. My bad, bro. That's me. I didn't finish that. That's my bad, bro. That's all me. Because Ray Donovan was good. Ray Donovan was good. If you ain't never had a chance, I'm going to finish it. Me and my boy Visions talked about it. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to get to Ray. I'm going to get to Ray. And then Bates Motel, I finished. Bates Motel came on. I smoked every episode. Look at what I'm talking about. That 2011, 2013 run. But 2012 alone, bro, it was Breaking Bad. Walter White. Y'all can judge me if you want. All right? I don't care, right? Breaking Bad is my favorite TV show of all time, right? It was my favorite TV show of all time. Stranger Things came through, and I know this is so much controversy. And if I was standing in the middle of the road saying this on a megaphone that was built for a speaker that was in every state saying that Breaking Bad is my favorite TV show, but it was taken over by Stranger Things, y'all would all try to line up and run me over with a very old school car that was made of steel, because that is crazy to say, right? But I really, 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 really loved Stranger Things, and I loved how it ended, because if you ever seen anything in the 80s, the Goonies and Friendship, you would understand that. But I won't get into all of that because I feel like there's some crucifixion that will be coming, but let's continue. Breaking Bad was my favorite TV show of all time into the very final season. I kept saying about this. Breaking Bad is flawless. They only got one episode, and I think they talked about this episode being of importance, but they only got one episode. You know how hard it is? I think they did 6 seasons technically. You know how hard it is to give you no throwaway episodes? No blanks. They only got one. That's the Fly episode. We all know about the Fly episode. When I watched it, I said, well, you don't usually get this from Breaking Bad. This is a bit different, Mike. So it happened. But that show was damn near flawless. Damn near fucking flawless, ladies and gentlemen. Damn near flawless. And yes, Stranger Things has its slips, its banana peels, but overall, that show gave me something. It's very hard to touch people in a specific type of way unless you're hanging around Kevin Spacey. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. That's unnecessary. But it's very hard to do unless you're, like you're a big movie, right? Like you're a big Marvel movie, and there's a character that you really loved, and you're finally getting the chance to see this character on screen. It was much of us like Captain America. It was much like Tobey Maguire, and Spider-Man is much of us like Iron Man. So you get these moments where you're really touched, and then you look up, you're like, I fucking love this character. I get to see him on screen. It's the same thing for Stranger Things, man. It was like it just touched this level of nostalgia and this friendship and what it was like to be outside. And I'm not necessarily an 80s baby. I was born in the 80s and I grew up in the 90s. So, but a lot of that shit just transferred over. We just happened to get more into technology in our run of the time, right? But Stranger Things had everything you can ask for mystery, acting, special effects, all types of shit, bro. It's just really good shit. And so anyway, Breaking Bad was my favorite TV show of all time. And I remember my, my lady at the time, you know what I'm saying, my little fine filly at the time, she's like, oh man, I watched this first episode and I think you would really like it. You know what I'm saying? And if you remember, Walter White is in his drawers, man. He's in his fucking drawers with a gun out. And that's how the shit starts. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? Because you got a white man in his drawers with a motherfucking shooter in his hand. You're like, what is going on? And from that point, I was locked in. Game of Thrones too. I actually got to Game of Thrones technically late. And when I got to Game of Thrones, ladies and gentlemen, when I got to Game of Thrones, oh man, I put my fucking dick to ball sack deep into that show. I mean, deep, brother. You'd have thought this was the 80s porn the way I was deep into that show. I know it's uncalled for me to be that explicit about a TV show, but it was that good, man. It was that good. It was that good. And I thought for a long time that show was going to give Breaking Bad a very much, at the time, you know, Stranger Things. Just imagine Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, getting to the 2016 mark where Stranger Things had dropped and where social media was really on fire. Technically, it's on fire. You know, everything was happening. You know, you had the 3-1 comeback from the Warriors and Cavaliers. Social media's on fire. So if those shows drop when 2016, they're the greatest. They're already the greatest, but they're like mega massive. Mega. Like, if you imagine those shows dropping right now, the way these Obsession is a big poster you could put up for this. Just imagine Obsession goes like this. Obsession is this $750,000 movie that is shot by a very creative and smart YouTuber. And they drop this movie, and because social media and movies have been on fire and social media combined, they take this movie and make it a fucking mega monster. It's basically Godzilla with an afro. It is incredible how big that movie got. But social media. So if you take Breaking Bad and you take Game of Thrones, who they were there until the last season of Game of Thrones, and you writers know it. And that's why you guys, when you guys write, they don't really put y'all names up there, man. When y'all writing on something, they don't really talk about y'all. If there was a movie coming out, matter of fact, take this back. Check this out. Avengers Doomsday, right? Let me get a sip of my coffee. I'm in a zone right now. Ah, goddamn. That's good. Avengers Doomsday. If you're a writer on Avengers Doomsday, and they had put up, oh man, from the writers of the last season of Game of Thrones, I wouldn't have bought no fucking tickets. I remember reading that the writers on that last season got together, got drunk, and turned off their phones. Because you know why? Because they knew that they were UPSing us a box of bullshit. They knew that they were UPSing us a box of bullshit, and they knew that we were going to be very upset and nothing was going to work. Nothing that they put on that damn screen. Maybe like one thing. It was like 1.5 episodes. I was like, well, this is fire. And then everything else was just slow guillotines to my toes, man. Slow guillotine to my toes, man. It was very brutal to watch. But those two juggernauts being 2016 or today, they're like cash. You see House of the Dragons right now. House of the Dragons is on. You get on Threads. By the way, if you're black and you're a nerd, get on Threads, man. You're a nerd like myself, get on Threads. They're all on there. I love Threads. If you're a nerd, period, just get on there. I'm not saying you think just a black shit. I'm just saying, if you black and you want to know about some shit, sometimes you may get a little confused about the house names. And there's niggas on there that can describe the house names in a very black way, which you can receive and hold on to and remember. You know what I'm saying? There's a motherfucker you can look up and be like, oh man, Damon got the spirit of Joseph Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you can remember, like, oh, Damon got the spirit of Joseph Jackson because he willing to whoop anybody ass. He willing to go to war, fight anybody. He whoop kid ass. You know what I'm saying? He almost burnt two with a dragon this past day. I'm Thaddeus Shade. This is the Odd Nerd, man. For that series finale, he almost smoked two kids out. I can't think of my man's name. I know his name. I looked his name up too. I'm so mad. But he did smoke a kid out. He hit him with an axe. I said, ooh, wee. Put that axe right to that kid's face. It was, woo, wee. I know y'all was watching, woo, wee. Way he put that axe to that kid's face, I know we was all like, damn. Because I was like, damn. And my dog was like, Roof. I said, yeah, man, it was brutal, bro. Winston was Roof. And I said, yeah, and then he put that blade to his face. That's a little kid. Little kid had no business hitting him with no wood. Now, as a young boy in them times, you either gonna work with your hands, metal, you gonna work with your hands, or you gonna go and try to be a fucking knight. What are you doing hitting a grown-ass fucking wildebeest of a man in his goddamn heel with some wood, man? That's why you caught a blade to the face, man. And you can't be doing that shit. I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of kids who survived because they cowered down. That's what I'm gonna do. And look, listen, I'm gonna be real. If I ain't built for it, I'm in the corner, I'm tucked. I'm in the corner of my tuck, and sir, please, sir. I'm like that. That little kid hit that wildebeest of a man in his heel. He turned around with that sweet, silverly clean blade axe of his and gave him one to the face. And we were all like, should I be watching this? This is very brutal. But it was right on cue. It was on point, and it made you keep watching it. It was fucking fantastic. Anyway, and then I'm going hammer time, but you got to roll with me here. So then you look up, if those shows were, they be mega, right? And it goes for Walking Dead. Are y'all hearing what I'm telling you? Bro, at one point on a Sunday, people, it was Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, fucking Dexter, True Blood. Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Dexter, True Blood. And I think Breaking Bad was AMC, Game of Thrones was HBO, Walking Dead was AMC, and then Dexter was Showtime, and True Blood was HBO. I didn't even really have to move. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't even really have to move stations except for Showtime. That's the only time I really had to move, man, to go watch Dexter do what he do best. Bro, you take those 5 shows, you drop, they're monsters right now. Dexter is back right now and coming with the second season of the continuation. And it is absolutely good. Even him in his college years, that season they dropped was good. They canceled it because I really think that they were like, oh shit, we didn't know y'all were going to bang out so much with this new Dexter. We're just going to cancel that. We're just going to run down the street with this ass naked. We're just going to run down the street. We're going to keep this going because we did not know. And it was phenomenal. If you used to watch Dexter and you did not believe, go watch Resurrection start, and then you will be mind blown how they recover. It is hard to recover. It's like basically Game of Thrones doing a 9th season and somehow just popping back and doing a 9th season, and they really recover. Like Jon Snow actually fights the Night King. You know what I'm saying? He actually is the one that kills the Night King. He actually takes the throne. I don't want it. But those shows, and the ones I mentioned, Modern Family, one of the funniest shows of all time. And I watch a lot of, there's a lot of comedies out there. Modern Family is top 5 easy. And I'm willing to put that up against anybody. Got any of my brothers and sisters out there, that want to battle me on that. I will show you writing. I will show you delivery. I will show you camera work. I will show you acting, and I will show you timing, man. Comedy timing matters right along with writing, and Modern Family is flawless, and it damn near is top 3 for me. I'm almost for sure it's top 3. I'm almost for sure that bitch is top 3 for me. Hell yeah. All right. But continuing on, American Horror Story, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a massive, season 2 is like still near and dear to my heart when you're dealing with nuns and aliens and shit. American Horror Story, I was watching that shit. Was that every Tuesday or Wednesday? That was... Look at what I'm telling you is cracking, bro. Cracking. And all the Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Mad Men, Homeland, Boardwalk Empire, Downtown Abbey. I never watched Downtown Abbey. My bad, yo. I never watched Downtown Abbey. But all nominees, man. And then you think about this 26, come on, man, look at that 2026 movie run. Spider-Man Brand New Day just smoked $1 billion. I mean, $1 billion smoked easy. Easy work. Easy work. Those times that people went to Vegas to watch Tyson fight and Tyson took 30 seconds to knock a motherfucker out. Easy work. That was Spider-Man. You got Toy Story 5 with $1 billion. Project Hail Mary, Obsession, Backrooms, Devil's Wear Pradas, Hoppers. I never seen Hoppers, my bad, y'all. The Sheep Detective. Listen, Wolverine, Mr. Jackman, I was never going to see that. I love some off the beat shit. Not for a real nigga like me. Let's go. Crime 101, phenomenal. Sin Help, phenomenal. 28 Years, phenomenal. The Invite is so slept on. I swear I hope y'all are watching that when it's I don't know if it's on streaming, but I hope y'all swallow that movie up. Sounds bad to say. I hope y'all are getting behind that movie. Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde. Great job, Olivia. That movie is really, really phenomenal. The drama, phenomenal. Like just hitters, man. All $1 billion movies. Spider-Man, The Odyssey, Toy Story 5, Michael, which was solid. I was a little hard on Michael, but I watched it again. I was a little too hard on it initially. You know what I'm saying? I like the idea of them showing Mike in a better light. That's my fault. It was still good, but I'm just saying I was a little too hard on it. That's my fault. That's Big Shade fault. And horror's been carrying cinema. Listen to what I'm telling you. Horror has been carrying cinema. In a world full of Scorsese's and Tarantino's and Marvel movies and DC movies, it is horror that has been carrying cinema. Horror has been hitting out of grand slams to infield grand slams to Hail Mary deep, far to, I can't think of it right now, but they have been killing it. And I'm just say for the last 2 years, but man, the horror obsession's phenomenal. And people who hate on that are usually people who see it late, right? They see the hype about it. They're like, oh, I'm expecting this great. Oh, this is my hype. And they go, the horror obsession was trash. Listen, when people do that, people are entitled to their opinion, right? People are entitled to their opinion. But when you look up and something crosses that amount of money and it's got that type of rating and it's got that type of audience rating and it's got that type of support online, those people cannot be trusted. And I mean this type of trusted. I put $2 on the counter around that person who said Obsession is horrible, and I came back in the room and that $2 was gone, and I'd be like, I expected you to steal it because I don't trust you because you said Obsession was trash, and all of us completely disagree. Backrooms is solid to me. You got to be sharp. Backrooms, Matrix, how the Matrix confuse people. If you're not sharp, Backrooms will fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? But Backrooms is good. And we all know how I felt about Sin Help. Sin Help was really good. Sin Help was really good for me. Evil Dead Burn was cool. I was a little hard on Evil Dead Burn. You know what I'm saying? But it was still out there. And then, I'm trying to justify Evil Dead Burn. I try. You know what I'm trying to give it some love. But it wasn't on my cake and pies list. I ain't gonna lie to you. Scream 7 was, though. Scream still finds a way to make me happy. Scream still finds a way to make others happy. Scream is, to me, in the horror world, fuck with me on this. Scream is iconic. That mask is iconic. And it just, like, I don't know, man, when Scream drops, we go see it. It doesn't, and they're gonna, and it's the Fast and the Furious of horror movies, man. They keep making them, and you keep looking up, and Courtney Cox is signed on, and oh my God, Sidney Prescott. Oh my God, now I can't think of her freaking name, and that's so messed up. And don't be mad at me, because at some point during this podcast, I will remember your name, and I will feel like shit for not remembering it, because I'm a big fan and I love Scream. But Scream, you look up, and Scream 7 is done. They're going to do Scream 8, and at one point, Sidney Prescott is signed on, and then you look up, she's unfollowing everybody on Scream, and she's no longer a part of it. And I'm sure before 8 comes out, they will figure out that contract work, and they will get her back on, because it makes no sense to do a Scream movie without Prescott. That's just me. Now I know they did 2 and they were still good. They did 2, and I fuck with them. But Sydney got to be the face. Sydney got to be the face. It's like Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. She got to be the face. She got to be in that shit. She can't just be a part of it, a crumb of it. She got to be in it, right? But we had that. Then we got the movie that I haven't seen yet, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp, whatever the last part of that is. And that movie has got like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's got a great audience score, and I got to go see it immediately because I didn't even know nothing about this movie. And I hate not knowing about shit. I haven't even seen a trailer on it. See the difference, though? I didn't see a trailer on this. You know why I didn't see a trailer on it? Because it's not a fucking Marvel movie. It's not a Marvel movie. And they don't have the budget that Marvel has or Sony has. Marvel and Sony come together and we're like, you know what? We're going to put 50 million up. You're going to put 50 million up. We're just put $100 million worth of marketing in it. Then this movie don't have that. So I ain't seen the trailer, but I do see the reviews, and I'm going to go check it out immediately. And then the end of Oak Street, my boy, J.J. Abrams, the end of Oak Street, which is pretty much this family wakes up and half their street is gone and dinosaurs are back. I mean, look, I'm always curious about when you touch dinosaurs. I wonder if Steven Spielberg just laughed. He said, man, it's 93 and I made dinosaurs look damn near perfect and y'all haven't outshined me yet. It was 93 when I gave y'all Jurassic Park and y'all have not outshined me yet. Not only on with the sound of a dinosaur. Yeah, it can sound more impactful, but how the dinosaur sounds, but also the look of the dinosaur still shines from 1993. So I'm genuinely interested to see what the great J.J. Abrams can do. I think he's just a producer or an executive producer. I don't think he directed it, but I'm very curious to see what the dinosaurs sound, because I did watch a clip of it and they do got a little bit of a different sound to it and the scene looks really dope. So I'm curious on how they look, how they sound, and if Steven Spielberg will be proud, because for some reason anything with dinosaurs, I'm like, that's Stevie Steve. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to count, like, also He-Man is in there. He-Man was a part of the run this year. You got Supergirl. I know it was not good. I know it was good. I know I drank. I'm vegan, right? What I did to Supergirl was I'm vegan, and today I stopped being vegan, right? Just imagine me stop being vegan. I had milk, and then I went and had Taco Bell. And I put those combinations together in my body that's been vegan for 8 years, and then I put a Supergirl poster down on the floor, and within 30 minutes, I had diarrhea all over the floor. That's what I did to Supergirl. I didn't have to be that. I like her. I like her as Supergirl. She gonna continue to fire. They're gonna get that right. I do believe in the gun and the boys. They're gonna get that right? But there have been so many things, so many movies that have dropped that have been so good this year. It's like, bro, we are living in 2011 to 2013, but we're living in that 2011 run where Sundays was just killer. And the comparison is, to me, is only difference is you're going to the movies. But man, we've had some TV shows, but these movies have kept us spending mad duckarookies, man. We have spent mad duckarookies all year going to go see these movies. Now, the question to me is, or the question to y'all is, the streaming count. So I look at movies on streaming, like I just watched The Last House. And The Last House is on Netflix. A family wakes up or not wakes up, but the family, it's raining outside, and the rain keeps the family locked into their house and keeps everybody in the neighborhood and around the world locked into their house, and they don't know what's going on. I'm trying to give you a little bit of what's going on without spoiling it for you, right? And the movie for me was, I think it got 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think y'all, and people I think y'all being a little bit too hard. I think y'all being a little bit too hard. I thought that, okay, y'all not being too hard. No, y'all being a little too hard. I like the movie, man. It wasn't bad. I was pleasantly surprised. Netflix, to me, has been dropping duds when it comes to their actual movies. I haven't been happy with their actual movies that they've been dropping. This one, I was like, this is solid. Like, the acting is good. The idea that there's these, I can't spoil it. There's something happening to keep humans from going outside. And you know what that means. It's just another form of COVID, but keeping humans from going outside. So pretty much the earth can refresh itself. Now, what is happening during the movie, I'm trying not to tell y'all, but that there was a lot of great acting, a lot of intense scenes. There is some, I thought the CG work of what is actually happening was really good in there. I thought it was solid, man, y'all. And the actors and the little kid actors was good too, man. And sometimes I hate when they do, oh my God, I hate in scripts where they just look up and they say, we're going to have this teen kid in here. He's going to do a bunch of teen shit. Just one time, I would like y'all to write these kids not like they're Carl from Walking Dead. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about, do you remember how we hated Carl at one point? Carl would never stay in the fucking house. They were always telling Carl to go home, go be in the house. Carl was running rampant all over the place. And it was just one of them things. And they write these teens like that and they just do stupid little shit. And I'd be like, bro, sometimes you can put characters in positions where you can say, this is going to happen, but you don't have to make it so damn predictable. You put them in a position where we're going to write the predictability, or we're going to write them coming out of this situation in a different way to where the viewers and be like, oh, typical teen, or I knew this was going to happen. Oh, like, here, I'll give you an example. Game of Thrones, or not Game of Thrones, House of Dragons season finale. My wildebeest of a man, he's fighting Ormond, or basically the guy who hates bad smells and keeps something under his nose. They're fighting, right? They're going to work on each other. Now, I can see what's about to happen. I'm like, okay, he's going to eventually get close and he's going to stab him with his fucking sword. Bam. That's exactly, because you can see it happening. And I'm like, this guy's an absolute brute, yes, and he's a warrior. You have not removed his sword out of his hand or nothing. So it's predictability. I would prefer the stabbing to happen during an actual combat situation. Did he just happen to outsmart him enough to get the stab in? I don't like predictable stabbings and predictable kills and ends and like that. I feel like you can write better than that, to where that stabbing happens. You can almost give a nod to him like, oh, that was a cold move right there. That was some badass shit. That's a badass move right there. And those things happened through The Last House, where there were some things where I'm like, well, this is very predictable. And also there were some things that are very unbelievable in that movie, but still overall to me, it was, now I'm not talking about what's in the movie or what's causing the rain to keep people in the house. I'm talking about inside the crib, whether it's arguments or whether it's the kids acting a certain way. I did like his wife though. There were moments in the movie where the wife was like, basically, come on now, take it easy on me. All I'm saying is the man was allowed to do some man shit, and then the wife was still doing some gangster shit, but she was allowing the man to do man shit because he was the head of the household. So he was doing man shit inside of the movie, and she was allowing him to do man shit, and she was still doing some gangster shit, but he was doing most of the man shit. There was man shit. You know, nowadays, you know, things can get a little like, listen, man. You know what? I'm not even gonna do it because I know I'm learning because I take a clip of this and I put it up, and then the women nerds and the women odd nerds, they start assassinating me, slicing me in my back. I don't want that. I know I'm learning from y'all. But my whole run on this is the comparison, the joy. And I can't remember a time movies have been punching like this, especially horror movies, but I can't remember a time where movies have just been keeping my money. They're just getting my money. And I remember being tucked in the house on a Sunday from that run I just named. I'm gonna go back to it in a minute, but that run I just named of Walking Dead and Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones and Dexter and I'm probably missing one because I can't remember. That run is just nasty, and it's so enjoyable to know that, like, this was probably the best. Ooh, let me see. It's the best movie run that I've I'm just gonna say in a very long motherfucking time. This is the best movie run that I've been a part of, man. This movie run has been phenomenal, generational, very much the LeBron block on Iguodala, very much the Steph Curry golden dagger, very much Jordan from the left elbow of the free throw line over Byron Russell. It has been generational. It has been a Hall of Fame, and I'm so appreciative of it. The movies have crossed. I haven't been, so let me just say this. I haven't been to Screen X yet. And I haven't been to Screen X, and I want to go to Screen X, right? It's basically, a screen in front of you and two other screens around. My boy went. He said it's cool. Everybody's kind of knocking Screen X. And that's a big part of why movies, I think, have really jumped up, because you got stuff like Screen X, you got Laser, IMAX, you got the Dolby Digital, the Dolby Sound, and then you got, of course, IMAX is massive, right? But then you got 4DX, and we just got a 4DX in Phoenix, so I'm going to go to that immediately. But the Screen X has been really knocked heavily, and it's like projectors or something like that are on side the walls. My boy said it was cool. He said you got to sit in the middle. I seen a video of a guy on the social media. He was posting about it and said it's not worth the money, but he was in the front row, and you can't be in the front row or something like that. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, getting a hug from Sherman Klump. You just wrapped up. You can't see nothing around. Just a big motherfucker wrapping you up. You can't see. So to me, you got to sit in the middle to be able to see and feel the almost box around you of the screens. But there has not been really good things said about Screen X, and I got to go experience it for myself. I've had people tell me about their 4DX experience and not really having a great experience in that. But I'm a person that's all for that. Hit me with the smell, hit me with the fart smell, hit me with the rattling seats. If you got, except for the skunk shit, if there's like a skunk in the movie, don't spray no skunk. Don't do that shit. Look here, man. I don't want to be in, look here, man. I don't want to be no movie, man, and no goddamn skunk smell stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have no skunk smell. No smell hit my nose, man. I don't want none of that shit. But I'm looking forward to going to go try 4DX and Screen X. And it's been a big reason why I think that movies have also been banging out, because you're getting an opportunity. And also, on top of that, I think that the directors are taking bigger swings as far as how they're directing. There's a shot in Spider-Man Brand New Day where he's fighting the hand, and the camera, I think if I'm correct, I've seen it twice, but if I'm correct, Spider-Man jumps to the ceiling, the camera rotates with him, and he's popping webs out, and it was just an incredible shot. And I think we as moviegoers are starting to appreciate more of what they're trying to do, meaning like the, Christopher Nolan shooting the Odyssey entirely in IMAX and only being able to shoot for 3 minutes, and then having to, they're showing us this stuff, and they're talking about the work that they're putting in, not messing up. You can do that without having to show us the movie magic until there's a DVD that drops. Like when Spider-Man drops a DVD, give me all the movie magic you want. When Spider-Man Brand New Day drops, give me all the fucking movie magic you want. When Odyssey DVD drops, give me all the behind the scenes you can give me. But dude, you don't have to load a motherfucker up already. I want my imagination to hold on deeply as I'm watching the Odyssey. I don't want to be like, oh, I seen that scene on Instagram. I know how they shot. That's got some strings on it. Nah, man. I remember watching some extras for Transformers, and then oh my God, who was that rolling through the streets, and the cars are just popping back, boom, boom, boom. You could actually see in the movie one of the strings pulling the cars back. And then you watch them. Then you're watching behind the scenes on the DVD, the special features, and you're seeing how they're doing this. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Watching The Dark Knight, special features. They're talking about how they came up with the Joker's sound and the razor blades and the strings, and you're like, oh, this is really dope. These are things that they're giving to you right now. Things that you can't you want to give a motherfucker a nub, you want to give a motherfucker a crumb, that's cool. You want to give a motherfucker a nub, you want to give a motherfucker a crumb, that's cool, man. Let's do that. But you ain't got to give me everything, man. I'm in a zone right now, and I've been talking. You know what I'm saying? But this has been the absolute best time in cinema in a long time. Best time in cinema in a long, long, long time. And it has been great. And it is so equal to 2011, 2013. You can't name me a better time in television. I dare you to try. There is nothing like that 2011 to 2013 run. Let's go back one more time before I end this, because I don't know how I was able to talk for 50 minutes. I just was running today. But look at this. Let's go one more time. 2011, 2013. Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Dexter, True Blood. Right there by itself. And True Blood had the same problem, man. They always, there's a jump in the shark moment. And I know y'all know what jump in the shark is. Jump the shark goes back to Happy Days. There's a surfing contest that Fonzie wants to do. He does the surfing contest, and in that episode, and Happy Days is a massive television show at the time. Massive television show. And Fonzie, who technically is probably the coolest person next to Stefan Arkell to ever be on television, he he is on a surfboard and he decides to jump a shark. And they say at that moment, when he jumps the shark and that episode is over, Happy Days viewership crumbled. And that's why they call it jumping the shark. They say that it crumbled. Just the viewership just was done. It was like, oh, we can't get behind this. We can't, the coolest motherfucker on earth, we can't get behind him being on the surfboard jumping a shark. And now there are moments where you can watch television shows. You be like, you get the Leonardo DiCaprio clap, you like the snap right there, and you're like, oh, that's when they jumped the shark. When you knew that they were doing too fucking much, and that's the end of the show. But like I said, True Blood, Dexter, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, those 5 shows by themselves are monsters. Then you got Mad Men, Sons of Anarchy, Boardwalk Empire, Homeland, which I loved. Homeland, I fucked with Homeland deep. Claire, what's up? I fuck with Homeland deep. Justified, Shameless, American Horror Story, Suits, The Good Wife, Spartacus, Friends, Sherlock, Luther, Modern Family, Big Bang, 30 Rock, Parks and Rec. Look at all of that, man. And I think The Office is in there. I think The Office is in there somewhere, and it's not on my list. The Office is in The Great Office. The Great Michael Scott is in there. That is on television. That is on television too. And I know I'm missing some joke. That is on television, ladies and gentlemen. My God, man. What are we talking about? This 2026 run has been phenomenal. I'm a movie nut. It's going to continue. I think we got Endgame coming with 7 minutes of extraness that's supposed to lead in to Doomsday. And we got Dune coming. And I know I'm missing some things in there, but boy, cinema is on fire. Television's been solid, man. Television's been solid. X-Men 97, still incredible. But movies, cannot think of a time where movies have been this fucking dominant. And with streaming being the monster that it is at the house, I have to say movies are definitely winning right now. Movies are definitely winning. I am Thaddeus Shade. This is the Odd Nerd Podcast, and I am out. Peace. I did 52 minutes of just talking, baby. I have been on a Starbucks strike when it comes to tea because these motherfuckers ain't got no honey. And I know about a month ago I was complaining about these some bitches not having no honey. These some bitches still ain't got no honey. I said it again. These some bitches still ain't got no honey. They ain't got no honey, man. I go there, they ain't never got no honey. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own medicine balls at the house because I don't really drink tea, but I would tear a medicine ball up. I said, I'll make my own tea at the house. So then I go, right? And I'm like, okay, what is a medicine ball, right? I go look, and it's, what is that shit? It's like it's Tijuana, I don't know, Tijuana. I know that's where you get marijuana.